I have just bought a house in the UK with an original 1960s bathroom, but this corner container above the loo is stumping everyone. It isn't plumbed into the toilet, and the pipe disappears into the wall at floor level. It's hollow. I'm about 160 centimeters, and it's above my head height too. We wondered whether it was an overhead cistern, but it isn't plumbed into the toilet at all. I've tried asking an online group, and the current fan favorite is a plant holder. My plumber is also stumped. Any ideas? It's a vessel for topping up the water on a 1970s servo-warm heating system. I had one exactly like that in the first house I bought back in the 80s. The boiler was installed behind a radiator that would swing out to allow access. They used galvanized pipes throughout the system, which were prone to corrosion. What is this plastic little bullet-shaped piece with metal inside it? My mom found it under a 1930s restaurant-sized stand mixer we have in the house, but in a place where it could have rolled under the mixer during and after the lively Halloween party we threw. It's hard plastic, and the metal rattles around in the casing. I did a Google search, but the photo results options are all things that look similar, but are much larger, like engine parts. Any ideas are appreciated. It's part of the pendulum of a 1930s Kit Kat clock. You can see it in this picture. Maybe it broke and rolled under your mixer. The Kit Kat clock is an Art Deco novelty wall clock, shaped like a grinning cat, with cartoon eyes that swivel in time with its pendulum tail. It was designed by Earl Arnold in the 1930s during the height of the Great Depression, where it would pick up people's spirits with its smile, curious eyes, and a wagging tail. It is traditionally black, but models in other colors and styles are also available. It is a common symbol of kitchens in North American popular culture. What is this small device made out of a few pieces of metal with a rotating dish and a wooden handle? The small dish is about 1.5 inches in diameter. It can rotate within the device, but it doesn't have much range of motion, and it's too small to hold a tea light. The top looks like it connects to something, but I'm not sure what. It has 1913 stamped on the bottom, and my dad insists that it belonged to his grandmother. We spent a while asking AI systems what it might be, but it kept suggesting a chestnut roaster, which it isn't. It's clearly designed to sit on a flat surface, holding the dish up just a little. My dad and I would sincerely and genuinely appreciate any and all helpful insights or information. It's an antique tea strainer, missing the strainer. Here's one with a strainer on it. It was patented on February 18th, 1913, by Thomas W. Johnson of North Attleboro, Massachusetts. The metal strainer swivels out when you rotate the wood handle, so it works equally well for left and right-handed people. However, because it's quite small, it holds leaves for only around 1 cup, and then only smaller leaves. I'd imagine that either a table was set with multiple strainers, or the strainer was emptied after every cup or two. What are these nested brass cylinders? One end has a knurled nut brazed on with a hole clear through it. The other end is tapered to an edge, as if to punch through something. I see no markings of any kind on the surface of the tubes or the knurled fitting at the end. The tubes are tightly nested within one another and very thin-walled. Thanks in advance for your help. It's a 19th century cork boring set, used historically in laboratories, apothecaries, and sometimes by naturalists to cut precise holes in cork stoppers. Before rubber stoppers became common, scientists and pharmacists relied heavily on cork stoppers. A cork borer allowed them to cut clean cylindrical holes in a cork to pass glass tubing, thermometers, or other apparatus. Most that you see have a handle per borer. Your set appears to use a common handle that is inserted into the borer you want to use and is not present in your pick. My friend gave me all their stuff as they were moving. I can't figure out what in the world this kit of metal objects is. They are not sharp, and they are stamped with numbers, I guess by size. It would be nice to know what they were used for. These are urethral sounds, made for your pleasure. but originally they are medical instruments used for vagina dilation. Urethral sounding is defined as the insertion of an object or liquid into the urethra. The most common reason reported in the medical literature for deliberate urethral insertion is erotic gratification. These sounds have a specially designed flat end, so it's much easier to hold onto them and move them in any way you like. Some Googling shows that about 1% of men may engage in urethral sounding. What are these colorful boxes I found among my grandfather's things? It says 1992 on them, possibly souvenirs from tourist spots. What could they be? These are keychain photo viewers. They have been around since at least the 1950s and have become especially popular as souvenirs in the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s. They were small plastic viewers that used miniature slides of pictures, which were often taken at locations like amusement parks, golf tournaments, road trips, and other events. You view the photo by looking through the small end, which has a magnifying glass. The white end allows light in to illuminate the photo. What are these ornate carved wooden tube containers found while clearing out my neighbor's garage? There are no markings or text anywhere on them. I assume they are for storing something, but they seem to be too small and not sturdy enough for umbrellas or canes, and not really the right size for common bottles of alcohol. Any ideas? It's a 19th century Chinese bamboo brush pot. You can find similar examples online for $2,700. It is a container for holding the brushes used by scribes for Chinese calligraphy. The brushes would be rinsed and stored in the pot with their handle down so that the bundles of hair would keep their shape and point. In 2012, a Chinese brush pot made of bamboo was donated to a Bristol-based charity shop. When the shop sold the brush pot to raise funds for St. Peter's Hospice, it was sold for £360,000, even though the rim had been mended with glue and the bamboo frame had a substantial crack. Examination of the brush pot discovered that it was made between 1662 and 1722 by Guju, a well-known old master of the time. My buddy found this at a junk shop, and we're stuck on what it might be. We put some batteries in it, and all that came on was a red indicator light. We thought it might be a rangefinder, but a surveying online group doesn't agree. Any ideas? Please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.